Hello, welcome to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all of the places you can find me should be linked in the description box just below this video. Welcome to part 3 of my little fibre to finished object series, and we've finally got to the knitting part of this journey, and I feel like by splitting this up into 3 sections you may have this grandiose idea of what the finished object might be. So you might be disappointed at the teeny tiny thing that I am about to make. But anyway, here we go. My yarns are finished and I'm really pleased with them both. I really wish there was more of this lovely plum colour, but alas, it is not to be. I don't have any more of that fibre. But the brown is gorgeous as well. You can see there's much more of the brown. So now that the yarns are made, I think in order to complete this video, I should make a swatch. And by swatch, I mean a mushroom. Yes, a mushroom, you heard me right. Hopefully, by the magic of YouTube, all will be revealed shortly. So yes, I knit a mushroom with the hand spun yarn that I made. What else is there to do in lockdown? I think it is one of the sweetest, cutest things I've ever made. James and Newt weren't massively impressed, but I love how it turned out. The temptation was, of course, to knit another gnome to add to my gang back there. I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and I think, you know, every good gnome needs a toadstool to hang out with. So I used the plum colour for the top of the mushroom and then the brown for the stalk. And I'll pop in some video showing you a close-up of this because the light in here and sort of the colours, I'm wearing a dark colour. We've got quite a dark colour wall, not really showing off the finished object to its full glory. But I love how both of these knitted up, and I think this little finished object, although it is tiny, I think shows really nicely the difference between the two yarns. So the top yarn spun on my spindle was more like a worsted draft where I'm doing a sort of short forward and smoothing back the yarn. That's kind of how my spindle spinning goes. And then the long draw at the bottom is more like a woolen spun yarn, and you get a much crisper sort of stitch definition on the top yarn and a slightly more sort of like warm and fuzzy effect, I think, on the woolen spun yarn. I'm struggling with the light today to get a good little shot of the finished object to show off the differences in the stitches between the two yarns. So I've just put it in the sunlight. Hopefully that's not too bright and you will see a little bit what I mean. I think you can see in the cap of the mushroom there, the stitches are much more defined than the stalk of the mushroom, which is quite fuzzy and lovely. It just goes to show off the differences in the different types of yarn. I've got plenty of yarn left. The one thing I didn't do, spin a fail, before I started knitting, I didn't actually calculate how much meterage I had of the yarns that I've spun up. I was so eager to get knitting and get these videos up that I forgot to do that, but I will sort of weigh and measure what I have left. As you can see, I've got quite a lot of the natural left, but I had quite a lot of fibre to start with, and then I still have a small sample of the sort of plum tweedy yarn left too. So maybe there will be a gnome, who knows. I'm really pleased with how both of these yarns turned out. They're different, but I love them both for sort of different reasons. I love the sort of richness of the plum and how that really shows off the speckles of the silk waist, but I also love the subtlety of the speckles in the natural yarn. The pattern that I used is a free pattern over on Ravelry. It's called the Earl Grey mushroom, and actually the concept's really interesting. The idea is to knit your mushroom with a natural yarn and then dip the top in some tea to dye it, so that the top of the mushroom becomes a different colour from the stalk, which is a really sweet idea, and I may end up trying that out. I did modify the pattern. The pattern is actually knit flat and then you seam it up, but I just knit mine in the round. The pattern is by, in case anyone is interested, I will link my project page below, Tatiana Gregorian, and as I say, it's free over on Ravelry. This literally took me like an hour or so, I think. Sat in the garden yesterday knitting. So yes, we've reached the end of the Fibre to Finished Object series. I had a lot of fun during the whole process, from the fibre prep to the playing around on my spinning wheel with long draw to the knitting of the finished object. It's been a nice, joyful distraction for me, this little project. If you have enjoyed watching half as much as I have enjoyed the making process, then that will make me very happy indeed. Until we get to spend time together again, I hope that you get to do some of the things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now.